Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dusted on Gaming, playing some Grixis Death Shadow. Helps if I update the title of the stream there. So, back to playing some Grixis Death Shadow. It's been a couple weeks since we've actually played true Grixis Death Shadow. We've played Jund Death Shadow, or 4-color Traverse Death Shadow a couple times. We played some Burn in the meantime. Time to get back to kind of the basic version of Death Shadow. This is a list that's pretty close to the 75 that I would want to play. Still tweaking a little bit of numbers with the cantrips and the removal spells, etc. But the main deck's pretty solid. Still the debate between the 1-tasker, 3-Gur Mag Angler configuration versus the 4-Gur Mag Angler no-tasker config. And then some of the slots in the sideboard, like between Ceremonious Rejection, Disdainful Stroke, a couple copies of a Braid here. Pretty happy with the 3-sweeper package, like having Young Pyromancers in the sideboard, like having 4 Leylines on the board, because basically I hate losing to Dredge. And then the 1 of Liliana, sometimes I like to have 2, but 1's perfectly fine when you're trying to fit in an extra a Braid and such. So, let's get this league rolling. Back to some constructed play, yes. I think the last deck out was, what, Boros Burn? Yeah, I think the last deck out was Boros Burn. It was a weird league. Lost to Ramanat Red and Goblins, played the Burn Mirror, and then, I don't even remember what else we played in that league. It was a weird league. This hand's a little... If we find a cantrip, this hand's pretty decent. I mean, obviously we have Thoughtseize. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I need to find like a Thought Scour or something to really get this rolling. Alright, I mean, that helps towards getting us Gur Mag Angler here, but... wow. Ether Vial? For those of you that wonder for the record why I say Eldrazi Taxes is terrible, this is a perfect example. One's got a wide variety of stuff they could have. They look like they're mono-white Death and Taxes, or mono-white Eldrazi Taxes. Like them having Rest in Peace is a thing. So I probably want to trim like a Gur Mag Angler and a Snapcaster Mage. Pyromancer doesn't match up great against what they're doing, but having another threat might be worthwhile. They have a lot of X1s in their deck, so Liliana is probably pretty reasonable here. Some contemplation for like a Ceremonious Rejection against their Eldrazi portion of their deck. But for now, I think I bring in the Abrades. Go down like 1 copy of Stubborn Denial. Probably bring in Anger of the Gods, though that is kind of stretching my mana against a deck that is definitely attacking our mana base. And then kind of submit from there. I mean, yeah, this hand's got some fast, yeah, they have Ether Vial, sure. Card do I even care about here? Arbiter is obviously a risk and annoying if it comes down next turn. Rest in Peace, this particular hand doesn't care about. Restoration Angel is kind of a problem for down the line. I think it's between Arbiter and Thalia here, with an outside shot at Thought-Knot Seer. I think we just take the Thalia with this hand. Yep, Arbiter's fine here. Alright, pretty easy first win there over Eldrazi and Taxes. Look like they were just mono white, but don't really know for sure. Playing some more here. It's a pretty brutal, efficient win. Obviously, our opponent has some counterplay to what we're doing. If they had Path to Exile, or if they were able to disrupt our mana. But Eldrazi and Taxes is just so slow and clunky. Like, the more I listen to people like Hoogland and such just be like, Modern, you want to be as fast and efficient as possible, and the more I play the fast and efficient decks, it's just like, yeah, that's kind of what you want to be doing in the format. Like, sure, some grindy decks are fine. Sometimes you... What does this hand even do? So 3, 5... I think this hand's fine. If the swamp was another fetch land, this hand would be a lot easier to keep. And that's the beauty of Modern. Like, everybody has their little things that they like to do, and a lot of people stick to that. Dredge, probably. Snapcaster Mage is not exactly ideal here. Probably has like a cathartic or something to get rolling again here. Brutality? Man, our deck really hates us today. Well, not today, but just like this game. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to give you a bunch of crap you can't cast. Looks like we might be up against Bridgevine, of all things. Yep. Because of this weird interaction, they get to get a zombie off of that. Yeah, everybody likes playing different decks. I agree there. Basic swamp for the land screw. Hanger Backwalker? Or a delve threat? Nope. Another walking ballista, sure. Land, please. Sure, hand me another 2/2 for one that I can't play until turn 5. Sounds good. Yeah, that's the beauty of Modern, is a lot of people enjoy playing different decks, regardless of what is probably technically the best strategy in the format. Actually, humans are not in that good of shape anymore. Last time we played humans, it didn't go too well, actually. Hangerback Walker here is slightly annoying. I want to kill that if at all possible this turn. Hopefully stuff some of what they got going on here. Definitely want to incentivize them to block here. Yeah, personally, as far as creature decks go, I really like Burn over, like, Spirits and Humans. And then I guess you can technically consider Death Shadow a creature deck of a sort. But to me, it's like an amalgamation of, like, a lot of different things. We definitely want the Voids. Liliana is pretty good here if we can get it in the mid game. Pyromancer is an absolute annoyance for them. Anger of the Gods is pretty annoying for them. Engineered Explosives might be okay. This member can probably go out. Cut a Snap, cut a Gurmag, because they'll probably have their own copies of Leyline of the Void. I mean, Stubborn Denial is okay in some small numbers. And then Trim Bolt. And then beyond that, what cards do we not want in our deck? Street Wraith. Got a Bobble. TBR. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, it's kind of a combo deck. It can be kind of a control deck. It can be kind of a tempo deck. I think this is the kind of hand we want. Like, it's obviously risky. You know, if they have a really fast start on turn 2 and turn 3, we could be under a lot of pressure. Yeah, we definitely don't have to worry about missing a color with this hand. Vengevine's a little scary. Definitely taking a lot of damage on turn 1. Seer, Gravecrawler, Whacker and Dark Blast. We have no way to prevent them from getting a whatchamacallit back next turn. We have no way to keep them from getting a Vengevine back next turn. So I think... What's up, Space Marine? I think the best thing is to take Viscera Seer so they can't sacrifice creatures without like casting Dark Blast. So next turn their turn will be probably Gravecrawler, Bushwhacker, or actually wait, if I take Bushwhacker, they only have one Black Source. So it's either Seer or Bushwhacker here. It might just be Bushwhacker. And hope they brick on a land for a turn. So I can go to 11 here. If I aggressively fetch Shock, I can go to 11. And Dark Blast, Dredge, Dark Blast, but they would have to draw a land and they can't Dredge Dark Blast. So I think I'm just supposed to grab. Play out double Death Shadow here. Did you draw a Lightning Bolt? Lightning Axe, sure. So we still know their hand. Ironically. Yep, supplier has to get through. Yeah, he's on Bridgevine. Say hello to my zombie fish. They Dark Blast their own Stitcher supplier. They did. Sure. So they get Vengevine back. They get a dude. Still know they have Gravecrawler in hand, so... then Anger of the Gods just gets to kill him next turn. GG, well played. Apparently, Grixis Death Shadow is angry at not having been played in a while. Like, oh, you want to play my Jun cousin here? I'm going to go 2-0-2-0 for you. How's everyone doing this morning? Or I guess it's this afternoon for most of us now. So, off to a pretty quick start here with Grixis Death Shadow. It's a deck that doesn't usually mess around, does fumble and stumble a little bit here and there, but for the most part the deck's pretty consistent and brutal at what it does. This hand is interesting. Street Wraith. Sure, I guess I'm interested in drawing a Street Wraith here. Gives us more looks at cards overall. Another Dredge deck, huh? Can it? Yes. Really don't want to put either one of those cards in the graveyard. Guess we put Loam. At least it's nice to know two of their Creeping Shells are chilling out in their hand. They would have hit a Loam anyway, so no harm, no foul. We do need to find a creature, though, pretty quickly. Yep, they're going to get 5 power in play, so we may very well lose this game. What's up, Boardog? How you doing? I think the turn 4 Gurmag Angler is going to be too slow this game. It's getting back a bunch of blood ghasts. Oh yeah. So one thing about this deck is sometimes it just spins its tires and doesn't find its threat. Like, theoretically, there's still, like, a Teamer Battle Rage draw away from winning in a turn or two, but I think they might just have too much on board right now. Alright, well, I mean, there's kind of a chance. Block here. Bolt one of these, block here. Go to 1. Need to draw. Okay, that's game. Anger off the top, the card that isn't in our main deck. Yeah, that'd be... Anger off the top would have been great, but we didn't even have the mana to cast it there, even if we did draw it. Get these cards in. Last Hope's okay against their slower draws. Trim a Snap. Trim a Gurmag. Trim a Bolt. No, I think that's too cute. Might bring it in as a removal spell, but I think having it in just for horns is just too cute. Cut the Inquisitions because they're not that good in the matchup. Honestly, discard spells after turn 1 aren't particularly good in this matchup. And that's only if their hand isn't like all Drudgers and or cards they want in their graveyard. Gotta keep in Thoughtseize just to have some life gain, or life loss, I should say. If we would have found that Gurmag Angler a turn or two earlier, we probably would have been in good shape here. The hand doesn't have a ley line, but I don't think this is a hand we can pass up on. They have their own ley line, which is moderately obnoxious. Snapcaster Mage. Not a card we are interested in right now. Leyline of the Void. That is definitely a card I am not interested in drawing. However, what's done is done. Guess I should have mulliganed to Leyline here. We have to Thought Scour ourselves. Doesn't feel good because we're just exiling whatever we're Fatal Push, Leyline, Thought Scour. So what are the odds they have a card we actually want to take out of their hand? Oh, this is going to feel bad. Their hand is Conflag and a couple of lands. Alright, there's a Narcomoeba. Get the Conflag in their graveyard. So hopefully they don't have anything good here. Narcomoeba I don't even necessarily care about. Turn 4, Graveyard Hate Piece, go. Maybe. Hopefully they brick on black sources for a couple turns. Oop. So they have what, Creeping Chill in hand? Don't know that you really want to be hard casting Creeping Chill against the Death Shadow deck. So I can't really cycle that Street Wraith right now. I'm going to play it as a creature for next turn, because they're probably going to dredge back Stinkweed Imp here. He could go dredge back Stinkweed. Okay, I don't know why he didn't dredge back Stinkweed there. Alright, there's a Nature's Claim. So close. Do they have something? What was their last card in hand? That was a weird game. That was a weird game. So now that we know they have 4 ley lines, Pyromancer still doesn't feel very attractive. Alright, War Dog. Don't work too hard, man. Sand's obviously a mulligan, both because we have no lands and because of no ley line. Sand isn't great, but at least it has Anger of the Gods. Yeah, I guess we keep a cantrip on top. Guessing they're gonna have like Cathartic next turn. They just keep a hand on the basis of so they could have Lightning Axe in hand, which is a reason to wait one turn on Stubborn and on Death Shadow here. Their hand could be like Dark Blast. Okay, they drew a Faithless Looting. We can't stub that, which sucks. But I don't run any K commands in my particular list. I don't like the card in the we have another one? So they literally kept a double removal spell hand and lots of Nature's Claims. Alright. Bloodghast is moderately annoying. So our opponent fetches it away. Alright, so we know absolutely nothing about their hand, sure. hard cast Leyline of the Void, sure. Let's hold on to that for now. Because he already had one in play and we can't remove it anyway. Alright, so those were some very close games. So you know, want to know what's really funny? So we played against Dredge 3 times with Grixis Shadow, and all 3 times it's gone 2-1. That's just kind of ironic. K-Command is sweet, but the problem... Okay. The problem with K-Command in this particular deck with access to Snapcaster Mage is you generally want K-Command against the grindy decks, right? Like the Jund decks of the world, the Blue-White X control decks. But the problem with K-Command is you most want them in your sideboarded games, and a lot of your sideboard games, your opponents are bringing in what graveyard hate they have against you. So the effectiveness of the card is minimalized. Like, you still have access to the Shatter mode, the Shock mode, the Discard mode, but oftentimes the Graveyard mode, which is the thing you want the most probably, is minimalized by Graveyard hate. So, and 3 mana is a lot in Death Shadow. Like, this is oftentimes a deck that, especially for the first couple turns, wants to operate on one or 2 lands. So, like, sometimes we get up to 4 and 5 mana because we see a lot of cards between, you know, Baubles, Street Race, all of our cantrips. But a lot of times, it's a deck you don't want to be playing effectively 3, 4, 5 mana spells. Like, Gurmag Angler is not a 3 mana spell, or not a 5 mana spell. Dismember is not a 5 mana spell. Yeah, 17 lands, but you see a lot, you know? Like, effectively, you're playing only a 53 card deck between Bauble and Street Wraith. And then your other cantrips, you know, so. Like, this hand's a little goofy. Double Gurmag Angler is just always taxing the graveyard. That said, I mean, this combination of cards we really can't, like, pass up. Yeah. Why, hello there, Jund. That's ugly. I think we have to take Thoughtseize here and hope to rip a stub or another, whatchamacallit? Um, it's a close matchup. It's kind of hard to say who's advantaged. They have more cards that matter in Liliana of the Veil and such. Stub, I think, might lock this game up. Maybe. Like, he didn't have access to a second black source, now that I'm looking back at what he had going on there. So, maybe he goofed? He goifed. I mean, he had Liliana, but we had Stub to answer that. That was kind of the play line we were setting up there. So, he goifed. One of your better punchlines there, Space Marine. This is one of the matchups where we do miss Kolaghan's command a little bit, but at the same time, our graveyard's going to be under attack, so bringing those two, trim a bolt. This is where I miss not having Dreadbore in my sideboard, though. Pyromancer just gets blanked by so many other things, though. TBR is a good card, but I really don't like it in this matchup, just because they are going to be very heavy on Fatal Push effects, on Terminate effects, on Liliana's. Wonder if we'll see another Thoughtseize you see 3 Liliana's concede hand. That could be interesting. Not going to mulligan this hand. I mean, we have a fast Gurmag Angler potentially, but there's a good chance. Okay, we're not being Thoughtseized or anything here. They have an Inquisition on top of their deck. So the only thing that's going to hit in our hands is Serum Visions. I mean, Fulminator's annoying, Brutality's annoying, Blood Buried Elf's potentially a threat, but obviously Liliana is like the only card we care about here. Hopefully we hit like a land off this bauble. Instead we hit a Fatal Push, which is probably infinitely more attractive than the Serum Visions. Sure. I think I would have played the Inquisition there, but, you know, Mana efficiency. Takes Serum Visions. Interesting. So now we have the choice of, do we get Gurmag Angler in play and lose one of our lands? Acquisition here, take the Fulminator Mage. Not going to shock this in. Guessing we're going to lose the Stub or the Young Pyro here. Maybe the push if they drew a Goyf. Alright. Another Inquisition? Sure. Just gonna hold this land for now. Insulates us against Liliana a little bit if they decide to uptick for some reason. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty rough for us. I think the game's pretty much over at this point. Them resolving Liliana is just so backbreaking in the matchup. We need to hit like Snapcaster Mage into like kill their Liliana. Lightning Bolt would be a good draw here. I mean, sure, we'll play out the Gurmag Angler. Hopefully they'll just cash in their Liliana. Yep, now we might have a chance, depending on what's in their hand. Alright, so it doesn't look like they're bringing in Graveyard Hate necessarily. This is where I don't like not having the extra, the Dreadbore in our list. Like, I would go up to 4 stubs, but, like... Sounds reasonable other than the fact we don't have a discard spell on one. So I could cycle to hit one here, but I think I'm just going to pass. Like, a combination of, like, Bolt Push would really suck here. But I don't really think we want to play around anything else. I think us getting on the board as quickly as possible and trying to tempo them out with Snapcaster Mage. Hopefully their play is just like a Goy for something stupid here. Nope, Fatal Push, that kind of sucks. You have a Bolt too. Can't risk dying a double Bolt. So close, yet so far away. Alright. 4-0 so far. Finally beat Jun with this deck. Actually, I guess we've won against Jun twice. Guess it was Rock that had the, kind of god hand against us, huh? It's like, because I remember losing to a hand that was like double Lily, or triple Liliana, double Fatal Push or something, so I guess that was Rock. So... Unfortunately, I gotta go eat breakfast, because I'm being called, so... I will finish this 5th match off camera. I'm sorry, everybody. such a close thing here. But it's time to go eat breakfast, so... I will definitely finish this one off camera and post it, so that way we know if we got the 5-0. I'm really sorry, everybody. No, but usually on the mornings my dad's home, it's like everybody eats breakfast just because, so, like cereal and whatever, but it's just kind of proper etiquette to spend time with family when you can, so, you know, I know, but no, she doesn't usually cook breakfast at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah, well. Yes, Space Marine, I've got a sister, she's married, and that's yeah. She's older than both Dale and I, so. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great day. I'll be finishing up this this league up later. So, this has been Dusk for Dustin on Gaming. Hope everybody has a great day.